Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. I have this palette right here, so I was kind of like teeter-tottering. Is that's a phrase, right? Okay, but I was like on the fence of whether or not I was gonna buy this. Here it is. My justification is I don't have the stack, and I haven't bought a neutral palette in a little while. Okay, well, in a little while. So this is the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. So this is the inside, and just look at how beautiful this palette is. Yes, I know it's a neutral palette, but like for a neutral palette, she is gorgeous. Like absolutely gorgeous. So that's what the inside looks like. I didn't actually really show you guys what the outside looks like. So again, absolutely stunning packaging, super stunning packaging as always. I feel like they always kill it with their packaging, so super pretty. Again, that foil writing really just gets me in my feels every single time. I love it. So yeah, this is the palette. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was gonna buy it, but here we are. I decided to buy it. So this has 10 shades in it, and I believe, so like I mentioned earlier, they did have a stack called the Rust stack, and I believe, let's see, I forget how many new shades this actually has. I want to say, I think it's 4, but let me just double check. Okay, so yes, the stacks have 5 shadows, and then palettes have 10. So at least this style of palettes, they have smaller palettes, like the Smoke Sessions palette is a little bit smaller, but this basically has all of the shades that were in the Rust stack and then also 5 new shades. So that was kind of why I was like on the fence, because I don't know, I don't know. I didn't have the Rust stack, but like I just personally felt for the people that already bought the Rust stack that like wanted the palette but already have half of the shades. So it's like, you know, that just I don't know why that just like kind of like bothers me a little bit, but like since I didn't have the stack, I was like, so anyways, it retails for $58. I already said that. And then they came out with, I believe it was a new eyeliner and then 2 lipsticks also, but the lipsticks actually, from my understanding, aren't new. They're already like existing in the line. So that was, let's see, are there other things in here? Just the gel eyeliner and then the 2 lipsticks and then the palette. So I kind of wanted to get the collection, which honestly is kind of a better value because the collection was $70 instead of $58. So, but the only reason why I didn't get it is just because I really didn't see myself wearing those lipsticks. Like, I just didn't, you know, I don't know, but I really wanted that liquid or the liner. So if you got the liner, and if you've used any of their like gel eyeliners before, let me know how you like them, because I did try their liquid liner, that matte one, quite a few months back, and I didn't like it. So I know they're 2 different formulas, but I'm kind of like a little hesitant on trying it because I know I like their eyeshadows, so I'm gonna stick with the eyeshadows for right now. But if you guys have tried the gel eyeliners, let me know, because I'm super intrigued by them. Like, I really want to try them. I just haven't taken the plunge yet, you know? I want to, but I haven't yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. I know you guys really want to see the swatches, I'm sure. And then just to show you the inside of the palette again, while I got all of my fingerprints already on there. But it comes with a mirror and then all of the 10 shades. So let's start with the swatching. Let me get you guys a little bit closer. Alright, so the first shade is a like off-white shade. This is the shade Classic. The next shade is Antique. Probably my favorite shade in this whole palette is Erode. Like, ooh, look at that. Of course, I think you guys know by now, I'm just a sucker for yellow shades. Like, yellow, greens, and blues, I'm like, give me all of them. The next shade is Rubbish. I feel like I should have said that in like an English accent. Okay, I think that's in focus. So the next shade is Tarnish. So I'll just say this now, the last couple times that I've filmed, for some reason, the focusing on my camera is just wonky. So sorry if it goes in and out of focus. The next shade is Rust, so the one that I just swatched. I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce this next shade, so we're just gonna swatchy it and then move on. The next shade is Mar. Wow, these last couple shades look absolutely gorgeous next to each other. That one's swatching out a tad bit patchy. Yeah, so I did dip back in a little bit to get a better swatch on that one, but I don't think I've really done that with the other ones yet. The next shade is Ravage. And the last shade is Rot. And then, let's see. Ooh, that one's also a little patchy. Let me try that a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, that one's just a little bit patchy. I'm kind of making a mess now with that shadow. So we have that last shade, and then here are all the other ones. I swear this must be somewhat of a workout where I'm like holding my arm up, because sometimes I forget how long I'm actually holding my arm up and I'm like, ow, like I'm actually tired now. The arm's actually tired. Okay, so these are all the swatches. So yeah, some of the mattes are a little more patchy, especially the two darker ones. That last one was a little bit difficult to swatch, but I typically don't worry about stuff like that. I feel like it'll be fine on the eyes, but we'll see how everything performs. But overall, everything seemed to swatch out pretty nicely. Everything, especially those shimmers, seem very like buttery and smooth. The mattes are also pretty smooth as well, but they're pretty much the same as the other palettes that I have of theirs, at least consistency wise, like they feel about the same. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this off of my arm. I for sure think I want to use a Rode in my inner corner, and then maybe do something a little more smoky. So, not really much staining on here, which is great. I mean, they are a lot more neutral colors, so you don't usually have as much of a problem staining unless they're like a darker matte, but overall I honestly think that everything's pretty much gone, which is good. I plan on doing swatches either today or tomorrow, so it's a good thing that that came off pretty easily. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the look and I will be back. Okay, so I'm back. I know it looks like I have a shit ton of makeup on my face right now, or eyeshadow, but I promise it'll get cleaned up and look a little bit different. But for right now, this is the look that we're going for, so I feel like I haven't done a look like this in quite some time, so I'm pretty pumped off of it. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna start off with this shade right here. Alright, for now, we're going to go ahead and go into this Rust shade. Oh, this shade right here. There is a decent amount of like kick up in the pan. I feel like their palettes usually have that, so it's not really anything alarming. Not really anything that bothers me, just because I feel like most palettes are like that, so. I totally probably brought this a little too far up my eye, but I have literally been struggling with not putting it far enough and then too much, so until I learn, I guess, we'll just go with this. And once I put makeup on and everything, it'll probably even out once I put more like foundation on and everything. I usually start with a light layer of foundation and then go from there, so I'm sure it'll kind of even out a little bit. So then we're going to go into this shade right here. Okay, and then I kind of just take a clean brush and blend everything out. So from there we're going to go ahead, I put so much on my eyes. I mean, it looks, it's a little much. It's a little much. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and go into our glitter primer. I always want to call it a glitter glue. Okay. Do you guys remember like the actual glitter glue? I mean, I know they still make them, but like the little tubes of them, like they weren't even like much bigger than something like this. Those were the days. So like when I was 5. We're gonna go ahead and go into the glitter primer and just kind of tap that where you would normally do like a faux cut crease or a cut crease or whatever you want to call it. My lazy girl cut crease. Alright, so from there we're going to go into tarnish right here. I'm just really concentrating on trying to get the right shape that I want. I do normally use an even flatter brush than this, but I don't know where I put it. Story of my life, but I don't know where I put it. So from here we're going to go into the shade that I don't know how. This shade right here. I'm going to take it with my fingers first. Kind of tap that into the first shade and then kind of bring it out towards the matte shades as well. Try to marry these a little bit better. Speaking of marry, I have been watching Love is Blind. I know I said that in my other video, but I'm literally watching it in the span of like 2/3, literally 2 days, because I think I started it yesterday or like the night before. And I'm to the point where all of the weddings are starting to happen. I'm not prepared. I am not prepared for this. Anyways, I'm literally hooked because I've been like binging it basically. I like can't watch anything else. I've even been watching it like as I've been filming. By the way, now that I'm talking, I'm just gonna go into shades that I already used and just kind of blend everything in. But yeah, I'm just not prepared for this at all. I am now emotionally invested in this show, so I haven't been using makeup wipes. I've just been using like a washcloth and micellar water, so in case you guys were wondering. Okay, so then we're gonna go back into Rubbish, which is the lightest shade that we've used so far, the lightest matte shade, and just kind of drag that underneath the eye. This angled brush is actually really good for stuff like this. I feel like it just helps to get, it just kind of like morphs with the curvature of your eye a little bit better. I slightly feel like I'm doing like zombie makeup right now. Well, like, I don't know. Is that like zombie makeup? I don't know. So from there, we're going to go into Rust. And then all of these shades are shades that we've already used, so I'm not going to point at them. So Rust, we're just going to bring that all the way under, just not as heavy-handed, more heavy-handed towards the outer part, and then lightly dust in here. And then from there, we're going to go into Mar. Mar, we're going to just keep very focused towards, or like hugging it towards the lash line or on the lash line. And then take a little bit of Rot, which is the darkest matte shade, and just really focus that right here, like on the outer part. There we go. And there, we're going to go into Classic, so that matte white shade. Let me just dust this thing off. Okay, just take that. I feel like this brush is a pretty good brush to use for this as well. So just dragging that under the lash line, and then also I'm just going to take a little bit more and then just kind of run that here because I feel like I just put a tiny bit too much. I extended the shadows up too far, and then go back into Rubbish and just kind of put that down a little bit lower. Okay, so from there we're going to go into my favorite shade in the whole entire palette, so Road. Alright, so the yellow shade in the palette, so this one right here, and that's going to be our inner corner highlight because, yes. Okay, perfect. I'm a little much right now, but we're going to kind of clean it up just a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. I don't know what I want to do for lips. I feel like because this look is a little bit dark, I might just do a glossy lip, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup. I will show you guys the finished product and then we'll talk about everything. Okay, so this is the finished look. Not a lot of eyeshadow on my eyeballs right now, okay? it's a little much, but you know what? Just rolling with it and we're just gonna stick with this. So overall, I think that the look is really pretty. I just want a little tiny ham and cheese, but that's, you know, I just tend to do that sometimes. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the palette. So this will probably be a little short. So basically, I feel like the quality of the shadows are exactly how they are in the Gemini palette. I forget what the other palettes are called, but, well, they came out with a millennial pink swan or whatever they call it. They came out with that. I didn't have that one. I only have the Gemini one and then the Smoke Sessions one. I feel like the palette is basically the exact same as the Gemini palette as far as the quality goes. I feel like the mattes and shimmers operate all the same way, like they all perform the same way. So that being said, I really like the Gemini palette. I like the quality of it. So same thing with this. I really like the shadows. I mean, I haven't used all of them yet, but I feel like it's the same quality as the Gemini palette. So with that being said, I'm already really liking this palette. It is a neutral palette, so it's gonna be one of those things of whether or not you think you need it in your collection. If you have the stack already, you might not need this because you might have other shadows that you can kind of pair with it if you want to. But if you are looking for a neutral palette, I do recommend this one. It is a little more on the pricey side, but overall I think the quality is really nice. The mattes all blend out really, really nicely. I like the, you know, I like the quality of their shadows, and I mean, look at how beautiful this is. Like, why can't I think of the other palette? Because so like both owners of Melt came out with like their own palette. The other one, whatever it's called, this is basically the same formula as the Gemini palette, so I am enjoying this palette. I'm excited to keep working with it. I do like they have the yellow shade in there. It kind of breaks up the like just neutral theme. It adds a little bit more to that, but overall I think the shades are really, really pretty. I think that they were really easy to work with. Like I said, it's the same quality as the Gemini palette as far as just quality of the shadows. So yeah, I really have no complaints. I think for you, if you're debating on getting this palette, if you have other shadows that are similar and then kind of go from there. I do feel like the shimmers in the Smoke Sessions palette are different from these ones. They're a little like chunkier and softer, but as far as like quality comparisons, this is basically the same as the Gemini palette. So with that being said, like I said, it's a good palette so far. There aren't any issues that I've discovered. I haven't used all of the shades, but if it seems like it's going to be consistent with the quality of the Gemini palette, so I'm here for it. I haven't bought a neutral palette in a while, so I'm actually really excited that I got this. So yeah, overall I think it's a good palette. I think that it's really gorgeous for a neutral palette. I definitely lean towards the more colorful palettes or the ones that have more of an option for colorful looks. But as far as the neutral palette goes, I do think that this definitely is a good option if that's something that you're looking for. I don't really have too much more to say that isn't going to be repetitive. So if you guys liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.